I won't make any good justice to say something from this rostrum because he is an eminent personality in cybersecurity. He is presently a partner with cybersecurity consulting with EY, that is Ernst & Young LLP India, that is one of the premier institutes, or you can say industry body. And he's also, before that, is executive director of cybersecurity services with PwC. We all know PwC is one of the leading financial consulting company, and also with TCS as a principal consultant and global head to manage the fraud management and digital forensics. He has been expert in digital forensics, had a lot of certifications from international universities, has a lot of awards, particularly from the government bodies, and he has worked with the major projects that are made to look into the digital forensics. He has worked with Interpol. He has been, you can say, associated with anything and everything in the digital forensics and cybersecurity in the last 2 to 3 decades. It is our privilege to invite Sri P. Krishna Sastry Garu on the dais to give us some wise words on the cybersecurity. Sastry Garu, please, sir.
Thank you, CSI Hyderabad, for inviting me, and thanks, Mr. Commander, for introducing me to the participants. Perhaps maybe, as Mr. Rao knows very well, for the last 3 decades, I am the cybersecurity. Almost I stopped going and taking sessions, but I don't know, because of my push from other factors, I was here. The uniqueness of this session is maybe after a long time, I'm taking presentation without a screen, right? So when especially students were there, I request CSI to see that, remember some screen, so that the people can make a note of that, instead of listening as something as a modulation or something. So, as you rightly mentioned about it, yes, I was with several government agencies, with corporates, Interpol and government agencies, which I'm not supposed to disclose some agencies. So whatever here I'm speaking is purely for the education purposes, and don't try to corroborate or correlate to any of the international bodies or remember the national agencies. Like many of these people who are sitting in the front rows, I born in 1960s, and I used to think about I'm the most fortunate. Why I'm very fortunate is in 1960s I have seen agriculture revolution, 70s I have seen industrial revolution, 80s computer revolution, 90s internet revolution, 2000 onwards mobile revolution, 2010 onwards IoT revolution. So I'm fortunate, I have seen almost all the revolutions that has come. I'm also fortunate, I have seen the barter system. And my mother, being a middle class family, says that give this half cup of coffee powder to the neighbor and get half cup of, remember, tea powder or sugar. And I'm also fortunate, I have seen the physical currencies, smart contracts, digital currencies. I have seen villages, I have seen towns, I have seen cities. I'm also seeing now smart cities. But in Indian context, the meaning is different. If Mr. Nitin Gadkari announces Nagpur is a smart city, you will not find anything except the next day newspaper Sunday. Paper will be very heavy, inside lot of brochures where a layout has been created with underground drainage systems and all. I hope many of you might have seen it. But that is not called smart city. In 2016, when I had been to Taiwan, I have seen every citizen of Taiwan who got 50 years of age, for them a digital watch has been created. Generally in India, if the government gives a watch, we'll give it to our kids, right? But it's not the case in the case of Taiwan. So every citizen who is 50 years, they should wear the watch. It records the heartbeat and pulse rate 24/7. Through global positioning system, it go to the hospital server. 2016, I'm talking about it. So every citizen data bank in the real time is going to get created. What is my heartbeat and what is my pulse rate? Assume Sastry is a citizen of Taiwan and he is a heart patient. They have written a rule there. If my heartbeat becomes less than, remember, 40, more than 200, immediately an alert will get generated. That alert will go in the form of a SMS through global positioning system again to an ambulance. The ambulance flow based on the geo-tracking available here, it will identify on which road Mr. Sastry is walking. It will come and pick me and drop it in the hospital. The time they are taking is 2.5 minutes. So by the time citizen knows there is irregular heartbeats and palpitation, the paramedical man will say, sir, please come and sit down, there is something wrong with your heart. That is what the concept of the smart city. And I have seen the Web 1.0 because we have seen a lot of people who are in the IT industries from 60s itself. Web 2.0 and Web 3.0. Now we are all going into something called as virtual reality, segmented realities, and metaverses concepts are coming. But technology is a double-edged weapon. So what we have seen is positive side. Now I used to think about, am I fortunate? What I thought in the morning is, I am fortunate. By listening the stories by 6 o'clock, I used to think that am I fortunate is the next question. Why it is? The global cost of the cybercrime has given $5 trillion US. It's the third largest economy in the world. After USA and remember China, the dreams of Mr. Modi to become India 5 trillion by 2025 is getting shattered. Because according to the World Economic Forum report, by 2025, the cybercrime industry will go to 12 trillion US. Probably it may beat even China also. For every 1 second, one cyber attack is happening, and for every 34 seconds, one ransomware attack is happening. And those people who are here, because I have to explain exactly what is the gravity of the situation, what is happening, how the student sector should react. That was the purpose of this session. The reason why I stopped taking sessions at different locations is, I enjoyed more than 3 decades something called first mover advantage. It is a high time you people should come forward. And we people should move to back. That's what I'm really looking at. The reason is, we have analytical power, but the way our brains will work sharply, our brains will not work. Hope you will agree for that, sir. That's where the younger generation has to play a very, very important role. I will tell you why it is, where the problem is happening. So what the other point is, per day more than 9 lakhs of malwares are coming and hitting the internet. Out of which 2% of the malwares does not have signatures with us. Please remember, no antivirus is going to detect that. For every 100 years when you are getting a virus like a COVID, how much impact? Because the problem with COVID is we don't have a signature for that. Hope you'll agree. Now, per every day, 2% of the 9 lakhs viruses are coming whose signature is not available, means you can think about the gravity of the situation. One fellow should die. Do the analysis, get the malware sample, update your antiviruses in the whole world in the form of threat intelligence. You can think of the problem. And almost all the attacks, Mr. Rao knows, almost every attack that hit in this country, major organizations will come to me. When we did the investigation, the average time the attacker is spending the network is 186 days. So today, if something has come in the news saying that defense organizations got impacted, yesterday was not place where the attacker entered the defense organization. He was there for nearly almost 6 months on an average. When 6 months even he was present, why the existing tools are not in a position to detect it? Think about it. We'll come to the answer for that. And today's cybercrime has become a very organized crime. Hope you remember there is a bank called Cosmos Bank in Pune which got impacted with a cyber attack, and within 2 hours that bank has lost 94 crores of rupees. And from 25 countries, the ATM systems, the money has been withdrawn. Police have arrested 17 people in this country and they were produced and court has given the judgment. But all the 17 people are only who went to ATM to take the money. We call them as a mules. Who is a real attacker? No one knows about it. Please understand this point. Who is behind this? Where the money? How the courts? Because there's a completely different story. If you take the skill versus focus, We have a scenario where 15 years back, less skilled, less focused people called script kiddies or immature hackers. Today, high skill, high focus people are available called APT attackers. You'll be surprised to know some countries, I'm going to show it to you. They have a domain experts who knows how the SCADA systems of Indian defense systems will work. They work specifically for 8 to 9 months to reach the target. So how we have to think of is, the attackers is, they're like how we are prepared for the civil service examination. 1 year target will keep it. Their ultimate aim is to compromise this network. They will work day in, day out. We call them as APT attackers. So why the sharp increase in the cyber attacks is happening? The gap between technology implementation and the security. The way the technology is moving is very fast. My cyber security products are not coming with that much speed. Today, tell me, I don't know how many of you are aware. There is a ransomware which will infect your TVs, a ransomware which will infect your refrigerators. Before that, you should know, the one word I have not used is something called D-commerce, called device commerce. Today, at the end of the month, I am going to get my electricity bill. I go to Telangana State Department website, enter my card number, CV number, date of expiry, name as on card. I will wait for OTP. If the signal is not coming, I will go to balcony to get the signal. But do you ever, 2018 itself, one company in the world has produced 3 lakhs refrigerator. Having a LCD panel and 2 doors on the right side, you can type it bigbasket.com. It will get opened. Add potatoes, tomatoes, brinjals, add to cart. Money will get automatically deducted. You don't require to enter card number, CV number. Just go to YouTube and watch the video. Samsung and MasterCard agreement. Now the latest version has come. Sastry always eats potatoes, tomatoes, brinjals. You don't have even a time to remember to see how many kgs of potatoes in the refrigerator. If the number of kgs of potatoes in the refrigerator becomes less than 1 kg, my refrigerator automatically money will get deducted from my bank account or the credit card. Somebody will come and knock the door, sir, please take this 1 kg of potato. Already that systems were in place, remember. But you can encrypt the refrigerator by using a ransomware called Flocker, Flocker. If you want, that is available for $5. I don't know how many of you are aware about this point. Just go to Google and type it, Flocker ransomware available for sale, $5 only. Install on your mobile phone, Bluetooth. If your apartment is having 40 houses, all the 40 TVs will get encrypted at the single stroke. So if people listen and implement, I am not responsible for organizers. Please remember that. The reason why this is happening is our mindset itself is reactive. One reason why this, remember, sharp increase is the way the technology is moving, my cyber security products are not moving. Second is our mindset, always our mindset is reactive. Those people who are seniors in the first rows, how many people will raise the hands? If you construct your house first, have you constructed house first or have you constructed compound walls first? Everybody will raise the hands, house only. If money and material remains, then I will construct the compound wall with doing plastering outside but not inside. Construction of house is digitization. Construction of compound wall is nothing but security. We given the least importance for the security, blindly going for something called digitalization. The reason is, just day before yesterday, parliamentary committee meeting was happened for cyber security, calling the banks. You just go to 3 days back in the newspaper, 16,675 crores of money people have lost because of frauds in the last 4 months of this year. And what was reported is only tip of iceberg. When 10% got reported, the Government of India statistics shows 1,675 crores. Then you can calculate it. So are we pushing the people into digitization without understanding the negative aspects? How many Jandan agents accounts are getting misused by so-called the Jamtara batch? Is the KYC norms are properly verified? These are all some of the questions beyond this point of discussion. The second is, as you rightly mentioned about it, all the products we are rolling out into the market are not properly tested. There is nothing called secure by design, nothing called secure development life cycle. Recently, one nationalized bank has got an internet banking application. The application has been slightly, remember, changed, but testing has been not done after the modification has been made. In 3 hours, people made the transaction. When somebody is typing wrongly, he has given fortunately his PIN number, but still it has become worked. It means it has not verified even the internet banking PIN number. He told to his friend, he verified. Within 3 hours, the bank has lost 26 crores of rupees. So when the application has got modified, they could not understand the meaning of the word secure development life cycle. Nothing called UAT, nothing called production. What is in UAT is different from what is in what? Production. This is some of the problems. And ease of accessibility of tools has become another big problem today. You want to make a DDoS attack for 1 hour, pay $10, you can download it, email bombers are available. Same time, remember the ransomware, you might have heard about it. I being in this domain always prefer to give a crazy names. Because people say the word CS means cyber security, I prefer to call CS is a common sense. I will tell you the reason why it is. Because working for police for nearly 22 years, we always give the examples in a very layman's terminology. So what is this ransomware? If you look at it, I prefer to call ransomware as nothing but the revenue generation malware. The reason is, you might have heard about some fraud called Nigerian scam. Have you heard about it? In reality, Nigerian scam is also called with another name. Can anybody can say? It is 419 scam. Why it is? Our 420 is equal to 419 in that country. That was the reason why it is. Several countries are encouraging that crime because the foreign exchange is coming because of that. One rogue nation in the world is getting 8% of their foreign exchange because of ransomware attacks. Due to sanctions imposed on them, their foreign exchange reserves have come down. So that is encouraging their countrymen to hack into other countries' computer system, put ransomware, encrypt the data, ask the bitcoins, sell the bitcoins, get the dollars by foreign exchange reserves will increase. I don't want to tell the name of the rogue nation, which is widely known about NK. Now, at the same time, these ransomware hackers also know how to manipulate even the cryptocurrencies. If today all the hackers are asking, remember, to get the data, please pay me in bitcoins. We know total number of bitcoins being constant, the demand for bitcoins increases means the price of bitcoin also what? Increases. Tomorrow all ransomware groups decided don't ask in bitcoins, ask in Ethereum coin. Then Ethereum coin price will what? Increase. So dollar price should increase, or euro price will increase, or rupee price will increase. Exactly they have started practicing the same. So please look at it. Now it has coupled with the geopolitical situation, especially for Russian-Ukraine war and all that. Because this is all related to the growth of IT industry also. The IT industry's purpose is let us promote, remember something called cloud, right? You might have heard about cloud. But after Russian-Ukraine war has happened, can we move to the cloud is a question mark. So I took the cloud from a company which is based out of USA, assume. Tomorrow India and USA relations become bad, and that American company said, I'm not going to work from India, so our entire, remember, structure will get what? Collapsed. So can we withstand for that today? Please remember that point. That's why think about it before implementation, the geopolitical situation also. Coupled with anonymizers, VPNs, proxies, etc., this is again creating the problem. So that's where, if you look at, is where the real trend is happening. So working in this for nearly 3 decades for all sectors, I classified the cyber crimes into 5 categories. The first category, because basically the word cyber crime, cyber attack differences, you should understand it. The first 2 variants or the first 2 generations are called cyber crime. The last 3 are something comes under what? Cyber attack. So what is a cyber crime? If you look at is the definition, crime committed by using computer as a tool or a target or a what? Both. Please remember there is a basic definition. When computers initially that was present here, computer printer scanners in 1990s, we used to investigate several cases where somebody produces a fake currency or fake certificate. I will take Bala degree, scan that one using Adobe Photoshop, replacing his photo with my photograph and replacing his name, etc. is the first variant. So there you have only standalone systems, etc. Then when local area networks and wide area networks have come, software manipulations, the record manipulations, electricity board scams and all that has happened. They change my data with raw data. So my 2000 rupees he will pay is 20 rupees I am going to pay it. Software manipulations you have seen. How less successful, KSET examination manipulation. The fellow who failed in November in the Karnataka Common Entrance Test in plus 2 has become the topper in the examination. Because just the scanned papers has been what? Key has been changed. So A set, B set, C set and D set will be there. My interested candidate is B. So after the scanning happened, actually the actual key should be kept. But actual key is nothing but this student paper answers only they have taken as a base. So this fellow has become topper. The Karnataka plus 2 topper has failed in the examination with 45,000 rank. Then they got the doubt that is how it's possible because of these manipulations. Lot of cases because second generation. Third generation is slowly viruses etc. have come into existence. Small example I will tell you today, everybody is educating everyone. Don't open the mail that has come from the unknown sources. And that we popularly call as a phishing mails etc. because they may be having a link and all that. If somebody is calling and asking you to put something or click, that is called wishing. Somebody is sending a SMS to ask you to click on that, that is called what? Smishing. Hope you know phishing, wishing, smishing are the technologies, but they're all outdated. Today, how people are taking out the data from the mobile phone is thanks to my QR code scanners. So you go for a hotel, just scan the QR code. That's all our virus will enter into our mobile phone. So this is popularly called QR phishing. QR phishing is never try to scan any QR code which I have received from unknown sources. I have kept some cases, but fortunately you are unable to see here. So you go for a hotel, the menu is there, sir, please scan the QR code. As a fraudster, I went and pasted over that QR code, this QR code. You went and scanned. Sometimes malware will get dropped. Sometimes it says a message, sorry, we are unable to scan. You are requested to download the QR code from so-and-so website. You will go there and click. Immediately something will span which will take over your entire data. So this is called QR phishing. So QR phishing has become another biggest problem today we are facing it. Third generation is where these viruses etc. has come. Fourth generation is attacks on the banks and the SCADA systems. And the fifth generation is something called on the IoT devices. So this is the 5 generations. The fourth and the fifth generations have become ruling today everything. That's where I would have shown you here. One very popular company called Johnson & Johnson has come out with a watch. It automatically reads, remember, your sugar requirements and pushes the insulin into your body. Today it is hackable. And people can hack into the system and can push more amount of insulin into your body than required. Just Google it, go and type it, remember. And if you ask anyone, Somalia is famous for what? Any one of you, sir? For which purpose Somalia is famous? Very good. The pirates. So where the Somalian pirates will go inside the sea, around 20 kilometers, identify the ships carrying, remember, the oil, threaten them, get the oil to the shore and sell it. That's what they used to do the business. Today the Somalian pirates are not going into sea. I don't know how many of you are aware about it. There is a new technique has come called GPS spoofing. They are intercepting the signals and changing the latitude and the longitude. So ship automatically comes to the shore of our what? Somalia. And this is a very popular technique called GPS spoofing. Rao said, I am having the latest car which is a driverless. He will sit inside and type it. I want to go towards Gachibowli. The map will try to. I hack into the system and change the latitude and longitude. His car instead of Gachibowli will towards Tarnaka side. And GPS spoofing is the one where interception of the navigation signals and changing the latitude and the longitude is the biggest problem. Especially the embedded systems which are coming with you is really creating a big problem. So the future is there where SCADA systems, IoT systems, embedded systems, what was the code that was present, no one knows about it. That is why the biggest threat India is facing is something called supply chain risk. Future is there only for the supply chain risk. The IT softwares which we are using it, nobody is having any control over it, what was the code written. Every company in India will always try to prefer to purchase software which is the cheapest. and 90% of the code is the GitHub code, which is freely available. So is the open source is a better or a closed source is another biggest problem. For a lot of times, lot of agencies in the world said, go for open source, open source. After the Log4j vulnerability that has rocked last year, I don't know because we don't have much time. Today, is it the open source is the right source or not is another biggest problem. Please be careful about it going towards SWOT code, etc. So, water treatment plants, power sectors, defense sectors, SCADA systems, I'm talking about it. They're all getting impacted with the cyber attacks. So fourth and the fifth generation is really creating a crazy problem for the governments if you look at it because they're all critical. So future is there only for two categories, please remember. One is the supply chain risk is creating a problem. Supply chain risk means it may be a hardware component or a software component. I have my router which I'm importing from a foreign country. Is that router inside what was the program written? None of us are not aware. Is it sending the IP to Pakistan? Is it sending the data to China? Nobody knows about it. And we use a great technique, encrypt your data. Nobody can what? Decrypt it. Hope you'll agree, sir. Many countries in the world, I feel very pity because people are developing, so I'm not against the technologies. Blockchain, blockchain, blockchain. Promote blockchain. Blockchain can be broken with elliptical cryptography. Quantum computing comes means blockchain fate is a question mark. Please understand this point. That's where if you look at it, just go to Google. Today what we are telling is, let the hacker comes inside. Let him take the data he cannot understand means the rule is very clear. What is that? Data at rest and data in transit must be what? Encrypted. You'll agree, sir? You're all promoting. I hope you'll agree. Just go to Google and type it or in the dark web you can search for it. Right? They are selling encrypted data. What is the theme? Collect data today, decrypt tomorrow. I don't know how many of you are aware about it. Just go to Google and type it. People are selling encrypted data. It will be useful maybe after 2 years. You got the point? That's where people are seeing that when the quantum computing will grow and it will become a household, that day all what we encrypted today can be what? Broken. So, collect encrypted data, decrypt tomorrow is a new trend that is happening. If anybody says, sir, please purchase, non-encrypted data is $100, encrypted data is $2 because encrypted data for you is a waste, rubbish. But purchase it, tomorrow it will be useful. Please remember this point, this is a new trend happening, this is a business idea you are supposed to have it is sitting in the T-Hub. So open a shop where you are interested only in purchasing what? Encrypted data. After 2 years, you can sell it very, very hot cake in the market. I have the American defense secrets, which was 10 years back encrypted. Today, I can able to decrypt it. It's a new trend happening it is. Please remember, it's all up to you. Risk is our CSS. So, cyber security life cycle, if you look at it, is exactly remember this is what it is. Go in a very, very common sense. Where I came to know some academicians were there here. Please teach cyber security in a layman's perspective. I never taught in the police institutions the word firewall is a firewall. I used to say, how many of you seen the remember Ramayana? If Ravana remember Rama, Lakshmana going to the forest and Lakshmana draw a line. Anybody try to cross the line, immediately what will come? Flame. Fire has come, hope you might have seen it. That's a firewall. So when Ravana try to cross it, it will come. But when Rama or Lakshmana will come inside, it will not come. It means which IP address should be allowed and which IP address should not be allowed. Point number one. Second, Ravana took the mask of Rama and tried to cross it. It is allowed. So that is called IP spoofing. So never depend upon only an IP address. Now you write extra rule. The fellow should be, remember, white in color, Ajan Bahu, or assuming that Rama is not white, is a blue color. Then you write extra rules. Then chances of Ravana to enter into what? Less. That is called firewall configuration reviews. From time to time you are supposed to what? Change it. So this is what you are supposed to start teaching it. Remember, entire cyber security, because generally my sessions for 3-4 hours he knows it. We used to teach about cyber security in a very layman's knowledge, remember, so that people can understand easily. Never try to look at it as security operations, because I've seen some people say cyber security is a complex. No, it is a pure common sense. Take it to understand this point. So that's where if you look at the cyber security, we are going to classify the cyber security as a life cycle where the potential markets are available. I think Bala, I don't know where he is, if you can give the last 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So first is, remember, it is similar to you try to construct. Please remember, try to correlate. Mr. IL and Rob is trying to construct a house around 25 kilometers away from city because land rates are what? Very cheap. He has come back to his home and said, let us construct a house somewhere around 25 kilometers away from city. And immediately he is going to do, first thing, is constructing the house is safe or not? Will you agree? That's why cyber security, people ask how much money I should invest on that house. IL and Rao, once he construct a house, he is going to keep hardly 10 rupees in the house only. He is a poor man, assuming that. I know he's a rich, he's having a suit and all that. So Sastry is a very rich man, assume. So I'm going to keep in the same house something around 1 crore cash. It means his risk factor is what? Less, and my risk factor is what? More. So how much organizations are going to spend on cyber security is depending upon what? How much risk they are having it. Please understand this point. So when you are going for a job market and a company is asking you to be part, look at out of the company, which company is what? Having more risk. That fellow will pay more amount of money, there your job prospects are high. Please remember this point. Second is also, these are all business sutras, which I am telling you free of cost, right? Second point you should look at is also very simple. Where the companies are having a very good regulatory mechanisms, they are the one who are going to spend the money. So you have a banking sector and you have got a pharma sector. Assume an advertisement has come for a cyber security person in State Bank of India and a cyber security person in AAG hospital. Nobody bothers about if the data goes out of AAG hospitals. Today it's available in Palika Bazaar for 10 rupees. That's why India Data Privacy Act, think about it. Hyderabad we are sitting, recently they got 68 crore people's data is available for sale. So Data Privacy Act, we can think of something. So my sincere request for all of you is, remember, where the regulatory mechanisms are present in a country or in a country specific sector, that is a very, very potential market. Please try to look at this. Now the second point, so what you learn out of it is how much amount of cyber security they are supposed to spend depends upon the risk of that organization, point number one. So the next point if you look at is, when you try to connect just like the house there, first he is going to do something called as, yes, what is the risk that is available? So first step of every cyber security is called risk assessment. So the cycle if you look at is assess, design, deploy, manage, monitor, incident response. Based on the incident that has happened, again you learn the tricks, go for what? Better security. That is what something called cyber security life cycle. Assess means that's where, remember, assessing the risk is involved. What type of attacks can happen? How much is the overall risk you try to look at? Then based on that, Mr. Rao has decided, oh, here the risk being hit, I want to keep my, remember, the compound walls of minimum what? 25 feet. Then he kept the CCTV cameras and all, and also security guard. That is called designing. So once he identified the risk, then he constructed, remember, or he has drawn a design. This should be the size of the wall and this should be the thickness. That is called security design. So second step is called network architecture designs and security architecture designs. Where to keep the CCTV cameras, where to keep the security guard in the same manner, where to keep the firewall, where to keep the IDS, where to keep the IPS, etc. That is called what? Design. After that document design, he got it. He is going to keep, remember, the CCTV cameras there. That is called deployment. But that deployment, once has done it, CCTV camera may work or what? May not work. That's what is called as what? Management. So assess, design, deploy, manage. But once CCTV footage is coming, somebody should look at it. You will agree? That is called monitoring. Even if you take all these measures, somebody able to jump out of that house, then he will understand something has happened. That's called what? Incident response. Then he will understand how this incident has happened, and he do something called forensic investigation. He realizes his wall's height is only 20 feet. The fellow has come, the criminal has come in a lorry which is 19 feet. From there he has jumped inside. So let us increase the size of our what? Wall. Then again based on that incident investigation, again he will go for better what? Assessment. So assess, design, deploy, manage, monitor, incident response based on the lessons. Again go for what? Assessment. This is the overall cycle where you are having what? Business. Now out of this business, if you look at is where the trends are coming. Please remember, I am seeing it, lot of people say go for SOC, SOC, SOC. SOC is nothing but like a homeopathic doctor or some, I'm not blaming anything, you will find a lot of people, RMP doctor type. Monitoring it is only. No. Where our entire capabilities of AI and ML are coming is really in the case of our what? Incident responses and forensics that dim. It's a very, very crazy. $2,000 per hour US market is paying for an incident responder for forensics in US. Even in India also that's a very, very costly. Please remember that point, and the number of people available is also very less. SOC and all is purely monitoring, like a security guard sitting and looking at the CCTV cameras, who is going, who is crossing, etc. Oh, Rav is supposed to go only to the 4th floor, he went to the 5th floor, means again stopping it. So generating the alerts and making the system non-functional, etc. is only SOC. So please remember, already if you look at is the entire cycle, assess, design, deploy, manage, monitor, incident response, forensics. Earlier the cycle used to move in the clockwise. Now it is moving in the anti-clockwise direction. Why anti-clockwise direction is happening is very simple. Earlier every organization's cyber security strategy is 3 steps. Protect, if something happens, detect, then go for what? Respond. Are you clear, sir? Put an antivirus. If still attack has happened, detect it. Then based on that, understand how this has happened, upgrade your what? Antivirus. This strategy is not going to work at all. Please remember this point. Protect, detect, respond strategy will not work. Why will not get? I will get the answer from you only. 2009, if you look at swine flu came to India, hope many of you are aware about it. In 2009, when swine flu came to India, the advertisement if in the newspaper says, Government of India is to give, wash your hands before lunch and dinners or before you are eating something. And don't touch the person having what? Fever and all. They are given 5 bullet points. 2013, they gave the advertisement in another way. What is the first point? If you are having a running nose, 105 degrees temperature and rashes on your body, immediately contact the doctor. What is the difference between these 2 advertisements? Any one of you, I am more than happy. The first advertisement is protect. It means washing your hands, don't touch the people, protect yourself. Protect, still you got the fever, detect it, go to the doctor and take the medicine called what? Respond. Even if government has given this, still swine flu started spreading. Now they realize, boss, 100% cyber security is a myth, it can never be a what? Reality. This statement, Times of India 2003, I have written an article, 100% cyber security is a myth, it can never be reality. Almost it's a 20 years, 2 decades back. Now what is the new strategy that has come here? Look at the second advertisement. What is the second advertisement says? Please remember, characteristics they are given. Based on that, you yourself will detect. You will go to the doctor, respond, and you will tell your family members to stay away from you. That's called what? Protection. So today's cyber security strategy is detect, then what? Respond, and go for what? Protection. And before this detect, one more word has come. Can anybody can say what is that? With these characteristics, is there any chance Mr. Rao can get remember swine flu? That's popularly called what? Prediction. So predict, detect, respond, protect is a new cyber security strategy. That's where in the prediction you are having a very bigger role to play. Based on the entire data you are going to collect it, do analytics over it whether this organization can get impacted with cyber attack or not. After analytics is over, then use your AI and ML capabilities to see whether the attack can happen or not. Is the attacker was already present in a network or not? That is where your AI and ML capabilities and data sciences are going to be what? Highly useful. So please remember that is where the security operations centers, where the rules etc. have been created, there is a very bigger role your younger generation have to play Today, organizations are not waiting till they got impacted to do what went wrong. They are want before the attack can happen, can somebody attacker was present in the network is there looking. So AI ML capabilities and the data sciences are going to play a very, very important role in predicting the organization, whether they can get hit by the attacker or not, what mechanisms they have taken is sufficient enough or not, they are trying to look for it. That's where as a younger generation, your data sciences and AI ML are going to play very, very what? Important roles. Please remember this point. The last but not the least, I would like to say, in future, computer science alone will not solve the problem of cyber security. Electronics, electrical, and remember the computer science is going to play very important. Because once the SCADA systems and embedded systems have come into play, the popular chip which I am using my aircraft, is it possible to get hacked? So I would like to know my embedded systems perfectly. So future, if you are thinking only cyber security with a computer science background may not help 100%. The demand is always for people having electronics, electrical, as well as what? Computer science. Once the IoTs and the 5Gs are going to come into what? Market. So thank you very much, sir. If you are having any doubts, I am more than happy to answer the same. Thanks a lot.